Guess what month it is? June. It's my birthday in June. And I want to celebrate this year by opening up Organized Life Academy. Now, I'm often talking about Organized Coach Academy, where we go in and organize your business. But I have been running Organized Life Academy for 4 years. This is my 4th year. Now, I've been organizing people in their homes, in their lives for 16 years. But I've had the online program called Organized Life Academy for the last 4 years. And we do so much in there. Like, it is the best deal in the world if you want to learn the skills of organizing and put them into practice in your home and in your life and in your mindset, because your mindset is where everything's going to change. Your mindset is how you think about yourself and about your skills and about your ability and about all this stuff in your life. And so that's what we do in Organized Life Academy. And we're focused on decluttering this year. So each month we have a declutter calendar. We have an area that we focus on, and we also have a mindset focus. Now, if you think about your goals at the beginning of the year and getting organized was one of your goals, how are you doing? How's it going? If you're not on top, reaching your goals, I want you to consider coming into Organized Life Academy. You will be motivated. You will love the material. You will learn the organizing foundations and the mindset foundations, the pieces that are going to move you forward and move you towards your goals. And then you're going to have everything spelled out exactly what to do. Now, on this episode, I want to go into some of the focuses that we've had this year. When you join, and I'm giving you an amazing discount, when you join, you get access to everything that we've done. Actually, everything over the last 4 years. Now, that might be overwhelming. It's kind of like getting on Netflix and seeing all the options that you have. But I want you to focus on the current month to start with, the organizing foundations and the mindset foundation pieces, and then focus on the month that we're in. And then when you have time, you can go back and watch all the amazing content that's in there. If you're ready to join us, I want to invite you. You go to simplysquaredaway.com/OLA for Organized Life Academy. In this episode, I want to talk about what being organized means. I'm going to talk about the skills that you need to learn. And then I'm going to give you some of the exciting topics that we've had, the guest speakers that we have planned, the quarterly projects that are in line, and I think they're going to be very intriguing to you. So let's celebrate my birthday by getting organized. Are you ready to work less, feel more organized and productive, streamline repetitive tasks, and implement systems that allow your coaching business to run smoothly even without you? If so, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Organized Coach Podcast, your go-to source for practical tips and solutions. I'm your host, Tracy Hoth, professional organizer, certified life coach, simplifying expert, and most of all, down-to-earth fellow coach just like you. No matter if you think you're missing the organizing gene, have ADHD, or just love anything organizing, I'm here to help you become an organized coach with a business that works for you. Pull up a seat and let's get started. Here we go. Let's talk about what being organized means. Being organized in its simplest definition is knowing what you have and being able to find it when you need it. So if you think about your house, do you know what you have? And can you find it when you need it? And when you're thinking about your house and a family, I also like to think about, can everyone else in the home find it when they need it? Does everybody know the home and where things go? Can they put them away? Do they know where they go? Is there room to put them away? Sometimes things have a home, but there's so many other things in the home, there's no room to put it. And so it ends up getting set down because they can't fit it in. I've seen before too, like if we have kids, you tell your kids to put something away or clean up. Well, the kid can't even fit the thing where it's supposed to go. So it's really hard for them to do it. And that's another reason why it's important as a parent to learn the skills of organizing, so that you can pass those skills on to your kids, so that you have proper expectations when you're teaching them how to clean up and how to care for their things, that they are able to put them away and learn the process. And I always think of it, I say this for Organized Coach Academy a lot, that it's the filter that we put things through in our mind. And once we get those filters established, then it becomes easier. Once we implement the power of one in our home with our stuff, it becomes easier for our brain to think in an organized way. Okay, so organized means to know what you have and to be able to find it when you need it. And the steps to organizing, I use the acronym SPASM, which you've probably heard me say this if you've listened to the podcast, but if you're brand new, I know it's kind of goofy, but that's what I've always used. So we sort into piles like with like. Then we go back and purge each pile. So we decide, am I going to keep it? I'm going to get rid of it. What are my favorites? What do I use? What do I love? Then the things that we've kept, we assign homes to them. So sort, purge, assign homes. Once we know where it's going to live, then we set limits. And setting limits is where a lot of people start. They start by going out and buying containers and getting new shelving and buying a new piece of furniture when they don't really know the space or the amount of space that they need for each item. So never go buy stuff before you've sorted, purged, and assigned homes. And I always use the example, well, what comes to my mind is when I was helping a client in person and she was sorting through books. She had a certain amount of books that she ended up keeping. She knew she needed shelves for them. So she actually measured the books, measured with a ruler or tape measure, and then decided, okay, in order to fit these books on the shelf, I'm going to need a shelf that's this certain size. Now she set the limit. So that shelf became her limit. The books fit on the shelf, and then if she brought a new book into the house, she knew that she had to get rid of one of the books on the shelf in order for it to fit. So that was your limit. Just like a drawer, your limit is the space that you have in the drawer. Or I have dividers in one of my drawers, so the space is the section that's divided off for a certain category. And by doing that, it helps us see, okay, now it's getting too crowded in that category. Now I need to go back and repeat the process. So sort, purge, assign homes, set limits, and then maintain. All organizing needs maintenance, just like our health, a garden, cleaning, laundry, everything needs maintenance, as disappointing as it is. So I like to tie things to something that we already do. That's the best way to maintain something, is to tie it to a task that you're already doing. So if you're going to organize paper in your file drawers, it's good to tie it to taxes, because that's when you're kind of in your paperwork. Or when you're going to go through your closet, tie it to the season changing. When your going through your kids' closet, tie it to when school starts or when you start to think about school clothes shopping or whatever you do. When you're going to organize holiday or seasonal decor, tie it to that season. So when you take it out, usually is the best time because you're most excited about it, do a purge of those things. And then when you put them back in, it's refreshing. You have space to put things if you've purchased anything new, but tie it to that. Don't wait till the end though. As I found for myself, you're just ready to get it put away. You kind of think, I'll just do that next year. So do it at the beginning of the season. So see how you tie maintenance to things that you already do. So that's what being organized means. It doesn't mean that it has to look like Pinterest. Or Instagram. It doesn't mean that it has to be color coded. It doesn't mean that you have to decanter all of the items in your entire pantry to look pretty. It could just be this section of the shelf is for baking goods. This section of my pantry is for cans. This section is for breakfast items. So it doesn't mean that it has to look a certain way. As long as you and anybody that uses that space knows what's there and can find what they need, that's organized. And that's why I think I'm a little more unique in that I'm down to earth. I don't want to spend any more time than I need to organizing or making things look like, really getting into how it looks more so than how it's functional. So maybe I'm functionally organized. Okay, so in Organized Life Academy, we focus on two things: our mindset, and we focus in on a certain area of our home. When you think about your entire home, it becomes overwhelming. And you think about the amount of stuff and all the spaces that need organization, it becomes really overwhelming. So what I like to do is pick an area, and I've mapped out all of 2024 into areas that we're going to work on. And I've tied a lot of them into our quarterly project. This July, you're listening to this in June. In July, our quarter project for July, August, and September is paper. We're focused in July on organizing paper, decluttering paper. In August, we're focused on decluttering our office. And in September, right? Let me move this. Yeah, September, we're focused on decluttering our storage area. October's the garage, November's the laundry room. And then December, I'm like wondering, why did I pick crafts? But many of you might have a craft area. So those are the declutter focuses for the rest of the year: paper, office, storage, garage. I try to do garage in a time when it's a good season to be outside in the garage, and then laundry room and crafts. What we've already done this year, we started in the kitchen. We've done the digital declutter, bathrooms, closet, bedroom, and this month in June, we're doing the living and dining room. Okay, so I was showing how that ties to the quarterly project. Our quarterly project is to organize our paper. And so I've tied that into the decluttering of our paper in our office. And then our quarterly project is organizing it. So decluttering to me is the stage between, well, it's the purging stage. So first we sort in the organizing steps. We sort and then we purge. To me, that's the decluttering step. And then we assign homes and set limits and set up some way to maintain it. So as we're decluttering our paper in our office by sorting and purging, then we assign homes to it, set limits, and maintain in our quarterly project. So it's all kind of tied together. We did the same thing with April, May, and June. For the quarterly project was our closet, our wardrobe, and our style. And we decluttered our closet and our bedroom. And then we had a guest speaker, Sarah, who is also on the podcast. She talked about our closet and our style. So it kind of all goes together. I just love it so much this whole year and kind of how it's all mapped out and how it helps us. So that's the decluttering. And how I've done the decluttering this year is on the calendar for the month. I've broken down the space into little tiny, what's the right word? Little tiny tasks to declutter. And so we're starting let's say in June, the living and dining room. The calendar has the coffee table. It has an end table. It has a drawer. It has a shelf. It has the dining room table. It has the hutch, maybe linens. So I've broken it down into all these different little tasks. And here's some ways that people are using the calendar. It's so fun to see how they're using the calendar. They print it out, and one of them puts it into a page sheet protector, like a plastic sheet protector. And then she tapes it in whatever room she's working on or whatever space she's in. And then she has a dry erase board or dry erase pen, and she puts an X over the area when she completes it. So she has a visual representation of what she's doing and what she's accomplished. So it's motivating. Another one of my clients sent me a picture, one of the members sent me a picture of hers, and she uses stickers. So on each day, when she completes that task, she puts a sticker on it. Now, at the beginning of the month, we have a call where we plan our month. And we can look at the calendar, and we don't have to do it exactly like the calendar's mapped out. It's an opportunity for us to look at the calendar and say, okay, like I know I'm not going to do organizing, decluttering on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because I work late, or, I have a late shift that day, or my kids have activities, whatever it is. But I know that Thursday night I'm free and I'm going to block off and I'm going to do these 2 tasks. Or for me in the dining room, I don't have any furniture in the dining room besides the table. I don't have a hutch. I don't have anything like that. So I can cross off those items off of my calendar because I don't have to do them because I don't have anything in there or I don't have shelves in my living room. So I can cross that off. So you go through it at the beginning of the month, cross off the things, kind of rearrange things, add anything that you have that maybe isn't on the calendar, and then map out how you want to accomplish it and how much. You don't have to do all of it. You get to choose. But what we're learning in there is when we plan it, we do better, obviously. And we're testing things, like testing. Does it work better if I print the calendar off? Do I get more accomplished? Does it work better if I tape it up? Does it work better if I put it in a sheet protector or have stickers, something motivating me as I look at it? Does it work better if I actually put it into my calendar as a time block and a task? Or is it fine just to do it as I feel like it or as I see it on my wall? But we're testing that. And at the end of the month or the beginning of the next month, we can look back and say, okay, what worked really well? What was I believing this month that actually motivated me to take action? How can I put that into play? Or what was I believing that caused me not to take any action? And what do I need to believe instead? What do I need to be thinking? How do I overcome obstacles that are going to come up or that came up last month that I didn't overcome? So we really on the calls go through those things to see what we want to test the next month, what worked well, what we want to change, and plan for the month. Okay, that's the decluttering. That's the task. That's the skills of organizing. And it's so fun to hear how other people are doing it and how it's working. And, we have a Voxer community that we post things in, and it's just so neat when someone posts this deep insight that they had, or they post a picture and share it about something they've accomplished. Okay, then we also have a mindset focus. It's not surprised me, but I'm always just reminded when someone shares, Tracy, the mindset piece is changing. I am changing. I am noticing this about how I'm thinking. I'm noticing this about what I'm believing about myself, about organizing, about my stuff, about how important the stuff is, about memories. Amelia came in there and talked about memories and how it's related to our stuff, about letting go. Leah Davidson was in there talking about our nervous system and how it's related to organizing and what we can do to help our nervous system as we let things go, as we experience discomfort. Our mindset foundation or our mindset focuses for this year. We reviewed the basics at the beginning of the year. We reviewed the organizing foundations, which you will go through when you join. We reviewed the mindset foundations. We talked about letting go. We talked about, I didn't want to call it minimalism, but we talked about minimal ideas. What does that mean to us? What do we want to decide about that in our life? We talked about emotional and nervous system regulation. This month, we're talking about the organizing formula. What does that even mean? So I'm teaching, I do a little worksheet each month about the mindset focus. So we have our calendar, which is a declutter focus, and then we have our mindset focus. So the organizing formula, I talk about what that is, and everybody gets to create their own organizing formula based on the example that I share. And then we work through that. And the guest speaker this month is talking about emotional wellness formula. What is our emotional well-being formula? How do we decide that? And it's all about our mindset, right? And then next month, we talk about the decision protocol. Do you know if you have a decision protocol in advance, You know how much easier it is to make a decision? Because you already know, okay, this is how I make decisions. This is what is guiding me as I decide. This is my protocol. Because I think making decisions stops us. It's a big block for people. So if we have our mindset straight and decided in advance about what our decision protocol is, it'll be a lot easier to declutter, to make decisions. Then we talk about accessing trust. I know Amelia talked when she spoke to the ladies in the group, spoke to all of us. She talked about trust and how we need to trust ourselves. So how do we access that? What is necessary in our mind to access trust? In September, we do envisioning our future. Can't wait for that. Enjoy the journey is October. How do we enjoy the journey of organizing? November is decluttering our mind. So we're working, all of this is helping us declutter our mind. But what is decluttering our mind? Do we want to establish a process for that? Do we want to tie it to something we already do to maintain that? What does it mean for you? And then December, we're celebrating you. And then I didn't think I mentioned our October, November, December quarterly project is our identity and our values. So they're kind of tied together with those topics for the month of our mindset. So I want you to really think about at the end of 2024, when you get to the end of the year and you look back over the year, what do you want to have accomplished when it comes to organizing your home? When it comes to changing your identity as an organized person? When it comes to your parenting or grandparenting? What does that look like? What do you want to have accomplished? The other big part of a lot of the members in there is leaving a legacy for their family. What do they want to leave for their family? Do they want to leave them all the clutter that's in their house right now? So when you get to the end of the year and you look back and you're thinking, I want to accomplish that. I just thought this was the best time halfway through the year deciding, okay, this is what I am going to accomplish this year. I'm going to give myself 6 months and I'm going to take charge and I'm going to invest in myself, in my mind, in my focus for the next 6 months on decluttering my life, organizing my life, learning the skills that I need. The great thing about Organized Life Academy is that we have 4 opportunities a month to get on calls. We have a planning call. So every month, we're not only decluttering and learning skills about organizing, we're also practicing the skill of planning, and we're practicing the skill of executing a plan and looking back at it and testing and figuring things out and how our mind works and what works well and what doesn't work well for us. So we have a planning call, then we have a coaching call. Let's unstick, is that a word? Unstick all the blocks that we have. Let's figure out why this happened, what happened, how we can move past that, how we can unstick this thought, what else could be true. We really dive into coaching individuals on those calls. And then we have a guest speaker. This has been my favorite part this year. Every month we have a guest speaker. It's so fun to learn from other people around the topic that we're talking about, either the organizing topic or the mindset topic or the quarterly project topic. The speaker's tied into that. Then the final call for the month is the VIP call. And if you join the month of June, I'm going to invite you and give you access to be a part of the VIP call. In that call, we take what the guest speaker has taught us and we put it into practice. We work through an exercise or we have a conversation about that topic that the speaker taught us. You know how you hear stuff and you're just like, oh yeah, I want to do that. I really do. I want to make change in my life. And then you never have time or you never go back to it. Just because you didn't schedule a time to go back to it. And so that's what we do in the VIP call. It is just the best group ever that are changing their lives. And I love it. And I want you to be part of it. So please join us. Celebrate my birthday with me. So what you're going to do is go to simplysquaredaway.com/OLA. My birthday special is $200 off of the price of Organized Coach Academy. You're actually getting 4 years worth of Organized Coach Academy, but for the next 6 months, you will be a part of Organized Coach Academy and have access to all of the material. And then I launch again at the end of the year for the following year. I would love to have you in there. Let's declutter, let's organize, and let's change our future by focusing on this for the rest of 2024. Have a great day. We'll see you inside. Wait, if you're finding this podcast useful, you must check out the Organized Coach Academy. It's my course where I walk you through every step to get your business organized, to get yourself organized, to save money and time, to prepare to hire someone, to do all the things that you want to do in your business with ease. Check that out at simplysquaredaway.com/OCA. Also, I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but I would love it. It's my way of knowing that you're enjoying the podcast if you leave a written review. I have lots of freebies for you. They're linked in the show notes. You can find them in my bio on Instagram at Tracy Hoth. And until next week, have a beautiful day.